What does it mean to be moved, to be ignited, to be inspired to change something, yourself, your situation, your outcome, your people? To be moved is to be emotional. And the power of emotion and inspiration is part of a human chain reaction that at the inception level requires one thing: a leader who shares. Great leaders move us. They ignite our passion and inspire the best in us. And while we would pin the obvious reasons on strategic intelligence or powerful ideas, I believe that if you were to look inward at your own life, you would come to a much simpler conclusion. And that is, those who really lead us really move us. The ability to inspire is the power to influence feelings of enthusiasm, encouragement, energy, motivation, and engagement. To understand inspiration is to go back to the root. And when we break apart the word inspired, we find two words: in spirit. The word literally means in spirit. In other words, when you are inspired by something, it means that you are living in line with your spirit. And there is an innate need inside of all of us to be inspired, to be moved emotionally towards a cause, a belief, a purpose. And I can promise you, your people are looking for inspiration. And in some cases, they are finding it. The question is, are they getting this intangible benefit from you? As entrepreneurs, how do we inspire our people to align the contribution of their work to the meaningfulness of their lives? You may be saying, that's not me. I'm not an emotional leader. I don't know how to be inspirational. Well, I've got good news for you. The ability to inspire is not a gift that you're born with. It's actually a skill that you can learn. Inspirational leaders are made, not born. And today on the podcast, we're going to dive into the inspirational leader and how you, regardless of whether you feel you are inspirational or not, can harness this powerful tool to move your employees to the meaningful and fulfilling life they deserve at work. My name is Sasha, and this is Entrepreneur Insight. According to a leadership development study from McKinsey, they asked 30,000 CEOs in 64 different countries to rank the top 16 leadership skills needed to run a thriving business. The ability to inspire people to action came in at number one. According to a survey published by Economist Intelligence Unit, one of the largest business research analytics services in the world, less than 1/2 of employees agree or strongly agree that they are inspired by their leaders. If that's true, then the odds say that more than half of the employees in this study are uninspired in their work environments. Now, there's a big difference between motivating your employees and inspiring them. To motivate is to push your employees to more performance, hitting KPIs and metrics. I'm going to motivate you to do more. To inspire your employees is more of a pull. As a leader, I want to pull my employees to a vision that not just inspires me, but inspires them. I want to pull them towards meaning, that North Star that the brand can rally around. Now, when I use the word inspire, chances are you may be thinking of someone giving inspirational speeches or something like that, like a Simon Sinek or a Gary Vaynerchuk. And next, you might be thinking, that's not me. I'm not naturally good at doing that. Well, the great news is that based on the research, charismatic speeches are just one of the many different characteristics of inspired leaders. It is not the most common trait, and it wasn't the most important trait. To embrace this, you have to understand that inspiration comes in all shapes and sizes. Again, I want to remind you that inspirational leaders are not born, they are made. It is not a gift that you are born with, but it's a skill that you can learn. And as a leader, again, I want to remind you that you too have the potential to be inspiring. And what I want to help you do is to find that self-awareness and to give you some handles to help you express that in a way that is unique to you. So here's the question. How do you best inspire your employees? Ready? Here we go. Okay. So to start, because inspiration is such a kind of in the clouds concept, it's intangible. So people have a hard time wrapping their arms around it practically. So what I want to do is I'm going to break this down into 4 building blocks with one anchor in the middle. And I call this the alchemy of an inspirational leader. Alchemy is defined as a process that changes or transforms something. It's kind of a measure of building blocks. These 4 building blocks of an inspirational leader, the alchemy of an inspirational leader, are the following. And this is where we start. The first is developing self-awareness. This is emotional intelligence. This is your ability to make people feel safe, encouraged. You breed confidence because you yourself are confident. You are not an insecure leader. And so people find you a safe place. And all of us are looking for safety. The second building block or category is your character and your values. You exhibit very clear values. People know what they are and they witness you living those out. Authenticity is power. You are a principled leader and you won't ask someone to do something that you yourself would not do. The third building block is connecting with others. You exhibit empathy, humility, assertiveness. You take the time to listen. Your work ethic is magnetic. Your passion is attractive. You are approachable. People want to be around you and they want to talk to you. And the fourth is that you're a missionary. You know the reason why you exist beyond commercial benefit. You lead your team through vision, not just for yourself, but for your employees and your customers. And what this does is this brings clarity, focus, harmony, empowerment, and kind of this co-creation culture to your business and to your teams. So again, the inspirational leader is built essentially on 4 blocks or categories or quadrants, whatever you want to call them. Developing self-awareness, something we can all grow in. Character and authenticity, something that we can all grow in. Connecting with others, something we can be more intentional about. And becoming a missionary, defining the big idea and true north that we can all rally around. So you ask, Sasha, how can I be an inspirational leader? Can I even be one? Yes, you can. You can be the inspirational leader that your people will want to follow and will never want to leave. So what are the traits then? How do we work in these 4 quadrants? Well, let's look at the first one, developing self-awareness. How do you inspire? Let's say you have a healthy self-regard for yourself. You hold a confident yet realistic assessment of your abilities. If you're a know-it-all, that actually steals inspiration from the people that you're engaging with. Everybody is looking for a confident leader. Confidence is attractive. If you are not confident, you're unattractive, plain and simple. The second one that we could put in this box is emotional IQ, flexibility, adjusting your responses to the dynamics of a situation, knowing when to elevate your emotions or stabilize them. Do you go high and to the right for everything? You may lead with emotional expression. If it blows wind in the sails and is positive, that is inspiring. If you make everything a big deal, that's uninspiring. Another one is optimism. You may be very optimistic. You're building a positive culture. That's inspiring. Self-control, stress tolerance, self-actualization. People see your growth and maturity as a leader. We have to remember that as a leader, we don't need to be perfect. We have to be human. But when our teams see us growing, they become inspired to grow. These are all inspirational traits that fall into the developing self-awareness quadrant. Category 2, character and authenticity, values. What is your perspective? What is your worldview? Do you make this known? And when you do you back it up with your actions? What are your values? Our human nature is to seek, find, and align ourselves with people who believe what we believe. Do you take ownership of the positive and the negative? Are you unselfish? Do you follow through with what you say you're going to do? Are you receptive to inputs that counter your view? These are all traits that fall in the character and authenticity bucket. Category 3, connecting with others. Are you committed to developing your employees? Do you have an open door policy? Are you approachable? Are you assertive? Are you caring? Do your people believe that you care for them? Are they more valuable to you than the work that they do for you? Expressiveness, communicating your ideas in a clear and compelling way. Do you take the time to find commonalities with your employees and project them? These would all fall in the category of connecting with others. And the fourth, are you a missionary? Where are you leading them? Do you have a clearly communicated vision that leads the team to a compelling objective? One that builds confidence and encourages opt-in. To build a culture, to be inspirational, is to get the people around you to actually opt in to where you're going and what you're doing. Do you provide focus? Eliminating all the subplots to focus on the main objective, keeping the main thing the main thing. Are you empowering your team to meet that objective? Collaboration, co-creation, servanthood. All these things are inspirational traits that fall into that category of mission. And so practically, to be a leader who inspires, where do we start? We start by identifying the top 3 traits that you would put into these quadrants. Here's the reality. I may be naturally inclined to some of these traits, but not most of them. We're great at a few things, not great at most. And so we have to identify, where does our personality lie? But if I focus on the traits that I believe define me, or better yet, identify with traits that I myself am attracted to, yet don't live in, this is my opportunity to grow. You've already checked one of the boxes. Your people will witness your growth. Because if I'm attracted to a trait, that means that's who I am. So now you can attach authenticity to that. So live in that, grow in that, and you will inspire. I'll use me as an example. For number 1, developing self-awareness, my current priorities. And they change. Depends on where I believe God wants me to grow. But for me, now it's emotional IQ, flexibility, and optimism. I'm by no means perfect, but these are my growth opportunities. I write them down and I keep them in front of me. I am intentional about allowing these principles to guide me and force me through the friction of making those decisions that honor those promises to myself and to my people. When it comes to inspirational leadership, there is a linchpin that holds all 4 of these quadrants together. And that core is centeredness. Centeredness. What is being a centered leader? What does that mean? It's leading from a state of assuredness. You're steady, you're unmoved from your values, driven by purpose and obsessed with your mission. Notice that there is nothing about chasing the competition or making more money here. That is not inspiring. It's motivating, maybe for some. If they sell more, they make a higher commission and make more money. That's motivating, but that's not inspiring. We're talking about something totally different here. Centeredness, your employees won't be able to put their finger on it, but they will feel it. An erratic leader does the opposite of inspire. The absence of centeredness demotivates. The presence of it inspires. And to be an inspired leader is to help your people and your teams find what they are looking for deep down inside. Well, what do they want? They want what we all want. We want to be moved. We want to feel. Facts don't inspire people to action. Feelings, emotions do. And there are 3 distinct levels of feelings that your employees will feel on the job. And it's the same ones that we feel. There's no secret here. And each of these levels build on one another. It's almost like a step ladder to inspired. But what are the levels of these feelings? This is important. Number 1, I feel satisfied. That's the first level. And what they are saying here is that I feel I have the tools and the freedom to perform my abilities. I get the recognition that I deserve, and I feel like I'm compensated fairly. That's satisfaction. That's a feeling. Number 2 is even more powerful. I feel engaged. I feel like I'm part of a team. I've got the ability to grow. I'm making a difference. I'm doing what I believe I was created to do. I'm contributing to something that is larger than myself. That's number 2. Very powerful. Level 1, I feel satisfied. Level 2, I feel engaged. And number 3, I feel this is where I want to be. I'm not just satisfied. I'm not just engaged. I'm inspired. This is where I want to be. This is where I need to be. I can do no other. This is where we feel a deep and lasting meaning by working here. And the employees that say that are twice as productive as employees who are just satisfied. The results are obvious. Low turnover. You attract talent, high job satisfaction, better quality, increased loyalty. You can inspire with emotional expression, positivity, humility, empathy, gratitude. And to be honest with you, sometimes just by listening. And so I end with this. I view inspiration as a product. Like all products, it needs substance, it needs packaging, and it needs distribution. Be intentional, get creative, and deploy the traits that will make you the inspirational leader. I hope this was helpful. Wishing you a blessed and successful 2023.